Divorce costs a ton of money. You're paying a lawyer $300, $400, $500, $600 an hour to do work. So the fee is going to add up very quickly. You need to decide what battles you're going to fight, and some are not worth fighting. You shouldn't be spending $500 an hour on your attorney to decide who's going to get the sofa. It doesn't make sense. So you have to keep in mind, what exactly is your objective in the case? How much is it going to cost me to get that, and evaluate it. Another thing you need to be constantly looking at is overall costs, not only the attorney's fees that you're going to pay, but the attorney's fees you could potentially have to pay to your other spouse. If you're the high wage earner, you're probably paying your other spouse's fees too in the case. So we see clients coming in saying, I want to wage war, I want to go after her. Well, you're probably waging war with yourself. You're going to pay your own attorney a ton of money, and then you're going to end up paying your wife's attorney to respond to all that stuff. So it's really thinking through every move that you make before you're spending all this money.
It is also important to be organized with your finances. One of the key factors in a divorce is your disclosure, which is basically a statement of what assets you have and your income and expenses. If you could present that to your lawyer in an organized fashion and you have the records, you're going to save a considerable amount of money right from the get-go. Also list your objectives and go over them with your lawyer. Are your objectives a goal you can reach, or is it just pie in the sky? If you have objectives that can be achieved, then you will have a plan and you will know exactly where your divorce is going, and you can keep your lawyer on track, you can keep yourself on track.
The other thing is maybe consider hiring a therapist. I enjoy psychological issues, and I want to help people talk them through the problem, but I'm probably the most expensive therapist out there. Don't use me for those problems. I mean, I have to listen and I have to respond to your calls, but really at my hourly rate, it's probably more effective to hire somebody that's qualified to give you therapy, and at probably a fraction of the cost. Use your lawyer for lawyer stuff, okay? What am I going to court over? How much am I going to get out of this case? How do I respond to what the other side's doing? All the emotional stuff that goes along with a divorce is important, but really when you're calling your lawyer 5 times a day to complain about what your spouse just did, all you're doing is running up a bill, and you're not really going to achieve any objectives that way.